everyone. My name's Emma. This is my first episode for the Fandom Connoisseur. I hope that's not too pretentious for people, but I really love all things fandom. I'm a big Disney girl. Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Hunger Games, all that jazz. So I figured that I might as well do something productive with it and share what I like to do to celebrate my fandom stuff. I often make a lot of like cakes for birthdays. I recently made a 4-tier wedding cake for Bella and Edward's anniversary from Twilight. I really enjoy just getting to find fun ways to celebrate all these wonderful stories. And I also, like, part of being a big Disney girl, I'm a huge fan of Disneyland and Disney World. Those are the only parks that I've been to so far, but it's my goal to go to every Disney park in the world. That's the plan, at least. But I have, enjoyed going to Disneyland since I was a kid. I was lucky enough to have family in California, so my family would visit very often, and we had the annual pass for a time. And I was very spoiled for getting to have that experience. Disneyland means a lot to me. That's my home park. Disney World, I was in the Disney College program, and I was working over in Epcot, and it was a great time. I'll talk about that probably a different time, but I have been going on these rides for a long time, but I haven't actually thought about the original source material of these rides that much. Or at least I hadn't read several things. I've seen the movies or a lot of them, right? But I wanted to go a bit deeper. So this is the first episode of the Writer's Digest where I get into the original source material and also make something fun to digest while we digest the book or the movie or whatever the first thing a ride was based on was. Grammar. But anyway, the first one I wanted to start with, I've been thinking about reading this book for a long time. I know that's a childhood classic. A lot of people read it when they were kids. I did not read this book, but I was determined to get to know this ride and this story better. So we're starting off with Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I really because I've been going on that ride, my whole life. I will say it's not one of the rides that I go on often, or at least not when I was a kid. I thought it was really weird, and it still is, but I couldn't really appreciate the weirdness as much when I was 5. Did I process that we were going to hell at the end? No, I definitely did not understand that. But now I think it's absolutely hilarious. As I've gone more as an adult or as a teenager, I started going on it regularly when I think I turned 17, and I started going on the rides that weren't just my go-tos, and that ride just cracks me up now. I think it's super fun that we're supposed to be in Mr. Toad's perspective when we're in it, and I wanted to read this book because I knew same with the ride. I didn't watch the movie that much when I was a kid either. It weirded me out, and so did the Adventures of Ichabod Crane. So it wasn't something that I paid much attention to, but I could not for the life of me remember Mr. Toad going to hell in the movie. Just about a year ago, I was wanting to get deeper into it all. So I knew about The Wind in the Willows, and I finally decided, in honor of the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, it sounded like a great time to start to begin this project, the Writer's Digest. And guys, I was so proud of coming up with that name. I hope I don't get sued or something. But anyway, here is my copy of The Wind in the Willows. Very charming. Barnes & Noble. I really loved this book. I mean, it's a totally different experience from the ride and the movie. I'm a big fan of cottagecore, peace, British countryside or English countryside. Like the vibes are just so endearing and sweet. I was surprised to see that Mr. Toad isn't necessarily the main character in this book. He kind of just seems like a side character that takes up a lot of plot in a way. Um, we start off with Mr. Mole, his perspective, and he's just this little guy who like breaks out of his, you know, boring life living in his hole in the ground, and he's like, I can't do the spring cleaning anymore. And I'm like, same man. But he just runs away and he goes up above and he's just enjoying his life, and it's giving like good morning vibes by the Beatles, and it's very sweet. And he bumps into Ratty at the river, and their friendship just takes off from there, and you just see them embracing the river. Ratty's just like obsessed with this thing, and I feel like we didn't get that much of like the core of the book in the movie, and obviously like the ride you're not going to be getting that much either. But I think it's like, you know, three wonderful ways to experience different stories. But this one, like, I definitely see myself coming back to this book for just like calming down. It really focuses a lot on the nature around them, especially the river. I think it's supposed to be like the River Thames, probably. And that's kind of funky for me because I mean, I lived in England for 2 years as a teenager, and like I visited since and stuff. And when I think about the River Thames, I just think about it in London. And it's like one of the most, you know, beautiful parts of the city, but it seems very city vibes. And I haven't necessarily looked too much at the nature right outside London. I lived in Christchurch, so that was kind of further away from that. But it was just very fun to see what it was like back in the day, kind of in a different kind of world, in a different kind of area. And I don't really know what to say because it was very episodic. I don't know how to do like a full breakdown of this book, a play-by-play, without this lasting like 2 hours. There is a deep cut of this video where I did record this for 2 hours. If you guys ever want to watch that, I would be happy to post it for you. Guys, I've put this off a ton. It's been really bad, but we're finally doing it. This is my special video, just getting it done. I have lots of other ones that I'm excited to get to. But anyway, I'm just going to show you guys the process of the cake that I made to enjoy the ride. Just to break it down for you guys, it's a devil's food cake because we go to hell at the end of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I tried to recreate the ride poster. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I don't paint. I don't do any of that stuff. I write sometimes, but I don't do anything else. So I was very happy with how it turned out. It could have been much worse. So I'm really proud of it. I also, funny story, I had seen that like you could freeze frosting like into shapes that like you can, you know, put it onto parchment paper and it'll freeze pretty well, and then you can just lift it from the sheet. My freezer did not freeze the frosting enough, so I have a layer of parchment paper underneath Mr. Toad's face when I put him onto the cake at the end, but I didn't eat that part, I promise. Haven't eaten it yet, actually. My mom had some, but I have not. I was really excited to spend some time on this story, and I hope that if you guys haven't read The Wind in the Willows, that you give it a shot. It's, like I said, completely different story. I mean, you've got Mr. Toad, he does do his thing, he is extremely chaotic, and kind of more so in this book, but I I was far more drawn to like other characters, especially Ratty. That guy is the cutest little thing. He's so sweet. Um, I could. Oh, I okay. If you want to see the full breakdown, I wax poetic about Ratty, which I think he would appreciate because he likes to wax poetic about the river and all that jazz. Um, if you guys want to know what got me the most, like I didn't cry during this book except for Wayfarers All. That's chapter 9. It's a Ratty chapter and it's really relatable for me. I related to all these animals and I did not expect it. They represent like different parts of the human experience, I think, and it's really cute. Like Ratty, he's like the peaceful side, but also has this inner yearning that comes out sometimes to go um, explore the world. And I think we see that with Mole as well, but with Mole, we get a lot of insecurity and fear, which he overcomes throughout the book. Um, Badger, he's very stoic and pragmatic. He knows he's very logical and stuff, but he's also a good friend. And Toad is just everybody's wildest inhibitions in a frog. He has no boundaries, he knows no limits, and he also is very fickle. If he doesn't like what he's doing, he quits pretty fast. And as somebody who has a lot of interests in a lot of things, I know that I hop around a lot. Oh my gosh, that makes sense that he's a toad. Wait, yeah, we're gonna go with that. So, I it was just a fun way to experience like the story in its original form. The movie still not one of my favorites. I I need to watch like the full thing again. I rewatched just the Adventures of Mr. Toad part before I as I was preparing for this project, and it's still just I don't it doesn't hit the same way. Like the book, I'm a bit of a book purist. It's a problem. It makes everything, you know, not as good. Because I would love to watch a movie of this like in a different way. And I know that there are other adaptations, and I'm very excited to check some of those guys out. I don't know if this is just because of Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's probably why. But the Wes Anderson movie of Fantastic Mr. Fox is like super fun to me, and I feel like he should do this. He should do this because I can picture him making these endearing moments very Wes Anderson endearing because he's got a way of capturing emotion very well while also just kind of capturing the absurdity of the universe that the story takes place. I think that would be really fun, and I have like tried to kind of break down how I would want him to do it. I really have no idea what I wanted to say here, except that I just wanted to do the thing. I made the food. The cake is gonna be delicious, I'm sure. I'm gonna name the cake. I haven't said it, but it's Mr. Toad's guilty pleasure because he's found guilty and devil hell. Um, Thank you so much for watching the first episode of the Writer's Digest, guys. I promise that I'll get you. I'm hoping that I'll become more comfortable on the camera and find better things to say to add to the conversation. But hey, now there's a cake with Mr. Toad's face on it, and it's been made by me, so I did something, I think. Thank you.